So there I was, up about 36,000 feet in the air, earth far beneath my feet, turbulence all around, shaking, holding on to my seat, trying not to bump into the person next to me, pretending to be cool, while inside of me I was panicking. And of course, thinking about the visual of a nun, supposed to be tranquil and peaceful, about to scream in this full airplane with I don't know how many people, and here I am just trying to hold on to my scream. And all around thinking, all the time thinking, what am I going to do? I'm about to die, what am I going to do? It was a very horrible experience. I hate planes. I was thinking, why couldn't I go on a train? Why couldn't I have just rented a car? But here I am, trying to breathe. Where's my breath? Can't find it. So I decided, okay, what does a monastic do in this kind of situation? Okay, quickly take refuge. Oh, I took refuge. Oh, I took refuge. Oh, I took refuge. And then, of course, trying to visualize the Buddha, but the Buddha kept being bumped away by the fearful thoughts and thinking about what's down there. I'm gonna crash. This is gonna be a fiery ball. Anyway, it was a moment of sheer panic in this airplane. And I had to ask myself, what's going on in my mind? Why am I acting like this? Of course, it hasn't always been like that. I used to be at least sane while traveling on a plane, but this was kind of insanity. So I said to myself as I was there shaking and trying to breathe and focus on something virtuous, that it would not be a very good thing if I were to actually die in that condition. Who knows where I would go next? What would my next life be like? So I thought, definitely need to do some work on detaching from this body, letting go, for heaven's sakes. So I made it a point of coming back and doing some serious thinking about what's the body all about? And why am I so attached to it? Why is this body so important that I can't part with it? Particularly being aware of and knowing that at some point I'm going to have to part with it whether I like it or not. Why is this body so important when I have had so many bodies prior to this one, all of which I've had to let go of at some point in the past? So there is then a thought there that is erroneous, that is not in line with reality. And trying to analyze then what makes this body so special. And when I look inward and I try to see what's my body made of, well, it's got bones in it, it's got muscles in it, it's got blood, it's got skin, it's got organs. And if I were to put all that in front of me, would I want to go and say, yay? No. It would smell bad, first of all, if everything was out there laid out like that. The contact of the organs and the blood and everything else with the oxygen makes a really foul smell. I would just want to run the opposite direction. So why is it that when it's in this form, I can't let go of it? In addition to that, there is the well-known fact that this body makes us suffer. It hurts. Right now it hurts in the back, it hurts in the knees, it hurts in the head sometimes. So why should I be attached to something that gives me so much pain on a regular basis? It's another good question. In addition to that, through this body I created a lot of negative karma, which then makes me suffer in the future. So another good question is, why do I feel like this body is so important when it hurts and it makes me do or create causes of further suffering in the future? In addition, the body is impermanent. It changes moment by moment by moment. What's there to be to hold on to? Certainly the person who started talking in this BBC, the body, is not the same as is talking now or just a moment ago or be in the future, in the next few moments. So all that. There is not one single permanent thing about this body that I can say I can hold on to. It just like sand in the hands, it just continues to spill through the hands, through the fingers. And of course, when I sit down and can focus and can think about that, then I can understand, oh, okay, yeah, I can build a space between this body. But the thing is, when I find myself in this situation, I can't quite automatically bring all that up. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done to create a more realistic view of this body. But I find that doing this kind of analysis and starting to look at the body and my attachment to it in a more clear way really brings more peace to my mind. And the fine line here, and I think the reason why we have, or I have at times not done this kind of contemplation before, is because there's a fear of then becoming or hating the body. I mean, when we talk about the body being let's say the foulness of the body, or looking at the body in terms of its organs and its components and all the unappealing components like the mucus, the blood, the everything that comes, the waste products that come out of the body. When we do that kind of a meditation, some of us might think, I might think that it would lead to not liking my own body or having a negative relationship to it. And what I find that is actually it's a different result, because the goal of looking at our body in that way is not to hate it, but rather to create a more healthier relationship with it. Certainly, if I were again in that situation at the airplane, it would have been a lot healthier and a lot more productive for me to have had a less stressful reaction to the turbulence that was going on at the time. I would have been able to think more clearly. I would have been able to actually generate less suffering for myself, because that was a very suffering moment as I was kind of panicking, really panicking in that situation. So what this has taught me is that I have to do a lot of work to lessen the attachment to my body, to establish a healthy relationship to it, and to really create a balance where I can truly appreciate the fact that with this body, I can use it to study the Dharma, to practice the Dharma, to generate realizations of the path, while at the same time accepting and truly understanding that it's a temporary thing, that I'll have to give it up at some point, and that accepting that is a more clear and healthy way to think. So, thank you.